1.4 properties. All right, the addition property is when we're going to add the same thing to both sides of an equation. For instance, if you had 2x minus 3 equals 10, okay, you're going to add 3 to both sides. That would be using the addition property, okay. Subtraction property is when you're going to do the same situation, but you're going to be subtracting the same thing to both sides, okay? So the addition and subtraction property means you're going to have to do it to both sides of the equation. That means there's an equal sign in the problem. Multiplication property means you're going to be multiplying the same thing to both sides of the equation. For example, if you had, let's see, 1/2 x equals 5, and you wanted to get rid of the 1/2 by multiplying by 2, you multiply both sides by 2, that's the multiplication property. Same situation with dividing property, division property, you're going to divide both sides by the same thing. So if you had 4x equals 8, and you divide it by 4, and divide by 4, you would be using the division property. Again, the multiplication, the division, the subtraction, and addition properties all involve an equal sign and doing the same thing to both sides. All right. Commutative property of addition and multiplication. The order is not affected by the way the answer turns out. So in other words, you can say 2 plus 5 is equal to 7, okay? And also 5 plus 2 is still equals 7, okay? That would be commutative. Order did not change. Order did not matter. So you notice we switched the order, but the outcome of 7 was the same. Same with multiplication. You can multiply 4 times 2 and get 8, as well as 2 times 4 and get 8. Okay, you get the same outcome, but the order changed, and that's fine. That only happens commutatively, addition or multiplication. Subtraction and division does not work. The associative property of addition and multiplication is where you change the grouping symbols, but not the order. So, in other words, you have 2 plus 3 plus 5. You group the first two, that's still going to equal 2 plus 3 plus 5. Okay? 2 plus 3 over here is 5 plus 5 is 10. And over here, 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 2, that's also 10. So 10 equals 10. Commutative means you get the same outcome. It's just grouping changed if it's associative. If it's the order changing, it's commutative. The identity for addition is when you add 0 to your number because you get the same outcome. You get your same thing that you started with. So you're going to be adding 0 for the identity for addition, and you're going to be multiplying by 1 to get the same outcome for multiplication. You need to know these. So identity, you get yourself back, and that's true for addition and multiplication. Right. Zero property multiplication means that you're multiplying something by 0. And whenever you multiply by 0, you're always going to get 0. It's one of the easier properties. Multiplication property of -1 really means that all you're going to do is multiply by a -1 will result in a negative variable. You do that like when you end up with an answer that looks similar to this when you're solving equations. And you have to get rid of this negative, so you're multiplying by a -1, so you'll end up with x is equal to -2. Big, long property for such a simple thing. Additive inverse is when you are simplifying and you're not doing it to both sides, okay? That would be like if you were trying to find the inverse of 4, you would subtract 4. If you had the inverse of -5, that would mean add 5, okay? You're not doing it to both sides of the equation. You are just simplifying on one side, okay? Multiplicative inverse means you are multiplying by the reciprocal, which means the flip of the number. Flip of a number. So if I had 1/2, the reciprocal would be 2/1. Same as if I had the number 5. The reciprocal would be 1/5. Remember, any number you can put over top of 1. So these are reciprocals. And in order to do multiplicative inverse, you have to multiply that by that reciprocal in order to make 1. Okay, so if you were trying to get rid of 2x equals 6, you can multiply by the reciprocal, 1/2, both sides, and you would solve your equation. You could do it that way. All right, reflexive property means it's like reflecting and looking at itself in the mirror, like a mirror. Reflecting, you think of a mirror. So it's the same on both sides. A plus A equals A, cal equals cal, same thing. Symmetric property says that you can switch the order. So A equals B, then B equals A. We use this a lot when we have a problem that ends up like 3 equals X. A lot of students don't like the X on the right-hand side, so they'll turn it around. The reason why we can turn it around to where it looks like this, okay, is the symmetric property. All we're doing is flipping it around so we can use it. Transitive property, if A equals B and B equals C, then that means that A is equal to C. A equals B and B equals C, this should be A. A equals C, okay? Transitive property, that means these pretty much cancel out and you just have A and C. Sorry, that's a typo right there. A equals C. And then substitution, we just replace. So we are told X is equal to 2, we plug that in or replace it, and then that is substitution. Okay? That is all of those properties. We will work with some of these examples in class and go over it several times all throughout the year. Come see me if you have any questions.